Hi, everyone. This is Pastor Henry of Dixon United Methodist Church. I'm here for your daily devotional. Today's Bible reading is from Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 7 through 8. And this is what it says: Blessed are those who trust in the Lord, whose trust is in the Lord. They shall be like a tree planted by water, sending out its roots by the stream. It shall not fear when heat comes, and its leaves shall stay green. In the year of drought it is not anxious, and it does not cease to bear fruit. Howard Thurman writes, the prophet Jeremiah pictures the man who depends on God, who has God for his confidence, as a tree planted beside a stream, sending his roots down to the water. He has no fear of scorching heat. His leaves are always green. He goes on bearing fruit when all around him is barren, and lives serene. In other words, such a man looks out on life with quiet eyes. End quote. For Thurman and the prophet Jeremiah, the streams represents God's sustaining power, and the tree is the individual or community. A tree planted beside a stream knows that it will receive its supply and keeps it living. And then there is something interesting that Thurman says, and that the individual that is sustained by God looks out on life with quiet eyes. Pause this video briefly and ask yourself and reflect, what does it mean to look out on life with quiet eyes? What does that mean, quiet eyes? One could say that the world itself is hardly quiet. Peace and serenity seem to only come to the few, to those afforded with certain privileges. And consequently, there is an anxiety when someone is not receiving the things that they need in life. Or, using Thurman's words, when someone's back is against the wall, facing poverty, facing war, facing discrimination, one's eyes are alert and open. These anxious eyes are valid. However, I don't think Thurman is speaking about quiet eyes as a disposition to those with privilege, for even those who are privileged have anxious eyes. I do not think quiet eyes merely means having no fear or anxiety. There is a second part to the Bible passage in which the individual not only has no fear nor anxiety, but also does not cease to bear fruit. And so for me, quiet eyes, it becomes a metaphor for an individual that has the ability to bear fruit, or they can see where fruit can emerge even in the midst of the struggle. For me, to bear fruit means to affirm the love of Jesus Christ in the midst of all that is going on, loving our neighbor as we love ourselves. You can say that it is the stilling of the soul, of one's surrounding, the quieting of the loud drought, in order to experience the things that affirm life. I experience myself as looking out on life with quiet eyes when I move myself to see that which realizes the kingdom of God. The noises of this world are that of pain and suffering, which leads to low spirits and a loss of hope, but it is my faith for me that empowers me to see through that noise, or to listen for another sound, the sound of that which is moving toward justice, toward solidarity, toward healing and compassion, especially for those whose backs are against the wall, that are having difficulty looking at the world with quiet eyes. And this practice itself can be a sustaining and an empowering source. And so this week I invite you to discover what it means to look at the world around you with quiet eyes. Write about where hope is being planted in your community, in your context. Write about your joys and your struggles, reflect on them, and pray for seeds of justice and love.